First of all, I want to say thank you for joining our informational webinar to our Egypt trip done 2024. My name is Clary. I'm the Director of International Home Education. I provide a online learning center for homeschool students. And this year we want to introduce educational tours starting with Egypt on July 2024. We are collaborating with Zion Europa to provide this tour for us. And with us, we have Maylene, who's going to be sharing a little bit more information about our educational tour. Go ahead, Maylene. Thank
Hi,
you, Claire.
Clarabelle.
Hi.
Thank you for having me along with you. Here we are. We are partaking in this wonderful tour where we're going to be speaking about Egypt. Egypt, the land of the pharaohs, an amazing place where we can see. We're going to be going over to itinerary where we're going to be learning of everything that's going to take part and take place in this trip. This trip, as you were there and I was there together, we were there in our last trip in March. We had an amazing time. And I want to kind of go over what's going to be happening during those 8 nights. We're going to be arriving, the first night we're going to be arriving to Cairo, to the Cairo airport, where you're going to be able to receive that help resuming and taking place with the visa. You're going to be able to have assistance through the immigration controls, and they will be taking you to your hotel. And from there on, the following day, it's when our whole tour begins. It's an amazing tour. It's an incredible country. On the first day, we're going to be having breakfast early in the morning. From there, we're going to be visiting. On our second day, we're going to be visiting the pyramids of Giza and the Sphinx. We're going to be going over to see we're going to be having a traditional lunch. You're going to be able to enter these pyramids, and you're going to be having a traditional lunch in Memphis. Egypt's first capital is Saqqara, and it is the necropolis. There, we're going to be having a little bit of a rest time, and from there, we're going to be going to the Old Cairo. And we're going to be meeting Lily, which is a wonderful market where you're going to be able to shop the best incredible gifts that you're going to be able to bring back home. That is actually the first market in the Middle East. So it's the largest market in the Middle East. And from here, we're going to be having dinner at the Historical Cafe of Mirrors. That's going to be and conclude our second day. On our third day, we're going to be visiting the main and the most emblematic spots, like the Citadel, explore the Alabaster Mosque, and back to the Khan al-Khalili market. And from there, we're going to be going to the Coptic neighborhood. Amazing places. The views are incredible. The place is just phenomenal. You cannot miss these areas because from here we're going to be going to the Egyptian Museum, the Masterworks, and I'm sure you can even explain to us a little bit about this museum. What's so amazing about this museum? Tell us, Clarabelle.
Well, first of all, you get to see unique things that you've seen in movies, I'm sure, or TV shows, but you get to experience this in real life. To me, I thought that was incredible. I felt like I was living those movies, the things that you see, like, I don't know, Indiana Jones popped in my head, but
Definitely. And what's amazing is that there you see things from the past, but they look so real, like all the mummification, all the characters, small little things, figures and things that just make it amazing and incredible.
Yes.
And from there, we're going to move on to our day number 4. On our day number 4, we're going to be taken to the airport where we're going to be flying out to Luxor. In Luxor, it's where we're going to begin our cruise through the Nile. The Nile is just an amazing place. It's a beautiful place where we're going to be seeing, where we're going to start in a fascinating destination to the Luxor Temple. The Luxor Temple is just one of the most beautiful ones you're going to be able to see. Here we're going to take a tour on the city, from the city center onto the board on horses, where we're going to be able to be taken there. We're going to see the whole hassle of the carriages and everyone moving along through the city. It's incredible. It's a really amazing view. And finally, we're going back to the cruise, where we head to our day number 4. Or day number 5, pardon. On day number 5, really early in the morning, if it's your choice, here's an additional activity where I think this is one of Clarabelle's favorites, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I loved
The
it.
balloon flight experience. I didn't get to go, but I know it was incredible because I saw the pictures and I was so sad. You cannot miss it. You cannot miss it. And from here, we're going to go to the Temple of Karnak. From there, what's incredible is that it's 2 different temples, 2 miles away from each other. And what separates these 2 temples, the Temple of Luxor and the Temple of Karnak, is that it has 2 miles of sphinx, of human-headed sphinx. And this is an amazing pathway where you have to walk through, where you want to take pictures with all these amazing figures. And then from there, we go back to the tour, where we will continue crossing to the east banks of the Niles and the Valleys of the Kings. The Valleys of the Kings is also an amazing place. Here are the tombs of the most famous pharaohs. The Hatshepsut Temple is one of those most beautiful temples. It was one of the most beautiful queens, as you can see in the pictures that they show you there. And here we return back to the Nile, where we head to Edfu. Edfu is just the floodgates of Esna, and we go through it at night, where we head to our day number 6. And our day number 6, we arrive to the Temple of Edfu. It's dedicated to the god of Horus. Here, it's one of the best preserved temples and the most spectacular temple in the country, they say. From here, we continued through the cruise, sailing towards Komombo. Komombo, to me, was one of those places that was just truly amazing. And Komombo was amazing to me because we went to see the gods of Sobek and Horus. And there in this location, you also see a very interesting museum where they mummified those crocodiles. And it was just so incredible, like, to see how the history just brings you into that era and just brings you through those tunnels, and you get to see those tunnels where the water was coming. And I don't want to tell you the whole history, because otherwise you're not going to want to come to Egypt. But Egypt has so much history that it's an amazing place to go visit, and you cannot miss out on this. From there,
the mummifications of the alligators was a surprise to me. I didn't even know about that.
Me either. And it was so incredible to see that they still have some of those alligators there mummified. And it was just like, I couldn't even believe it. But the history is so important to pay attention and listen to the little details, the little things, which make it a lot more incredible. And from there, we finalize and we go back and sail to Aswan, which is our day number 6. Just to say, and to open parenthesis, going through the Nile River, it's an amazing experience where you get to share with your families, where you're on the cruise, where you're eating amazing foods, where you're able to share with the culture, where they want to participate and take part into your culture, and they want to be able to learn from you. Everyone from the front desk, the person doing massages, the person that is a bartender, the waiters, they all want to learn from you as well. So I think this is also an important and special experience. And then we arrived to our day number 7. Our day number 7 was my most favorable and memorable day. It was the day when we went and we took a bus trip to the temples of Abu Simbel. It's one of the most famous, I think it's the most famous in Egypt. And From the rising waters, it was all covered, so they had to take parts of that temple and move it to another area where it's higher grounds. And it's amazing to see all its beautiful places. The scenery, it's amazing. The waters is incredible. To see the light hitting the temples is just phenomenal. And the history behind it, as I say, history, history, history. Everything has to do with history. And from there, we return back to Aswan, to the Temple of Philae. It's also it's just a beautiful place. The memories were incredible. Walking through the temples, you feel like you can get lost in the middle of this temple. And it's a beautiful island known as the Jewel of the Nile. Returning back to this cruise, we'll have lunch, and then there and after, we will go through a wooden boat trip through the Nile. It's amazing because goes back to their culture, and then you're able to feel yourself going through the Nile. Is just incredible. The waters are phenomenal. Like the whole vibe and the whole area around you just feels like you're back in time. And from there, we will be going back at night onto our day number 8, where we will be having breakfast. We will be taken back to the Aswan airport. And from there, we will be flying out to Cairo, where from there, once you arrive to Cairo, we will be going back to our homes. So that pretty much wraps up the whole trip. It's the closing day of the program. It's an experience that I would not suggest you missed out on, because it's just something phenomenal that you will not forget. You will keep in mind the people, the culture, the foods, the experiences that you live, and the things that you see you will not see elsewhere. It's a place memorable, a place of which you will enjoy incredibly. Mm-hmm. So it's to wrap up, it's an 8-day trip where we're going to be, as Clarabelle said, from July in 2024. This activity will be all tour guided in English, and we will have our transportation from start to finish. We're going to be flying out from Miami Airport to Cairo and back. If you are in another city from the US, we are here to help you find those trips and those connection flights to get you to Cairo. So don't worry, just let us know. You can search for us on the webpage as well as through the WhatsApp information that's left at the bottom of the page. Here we have travel assistance. We have breakfast, lunch, and dinner included onto the trip price. 3 nights full on board on Cairo, 4 nights on an all-inclusive cruise. All tickets, excursions, and guided tours mentioned above, as I mentioned before. And then we have some additional experiences of which you can also enjoy, like the sound and light show at the Giza pyramids, where you can also enjoy the private tour of Abu Simbel, which I don't suggest you miss out on, because this is the most amazing part of the trip. The balloon ride, as I said, in Luxor, it was also one of those places that you just have to make it to it, because it's just an incredible experience. Of course, who doesn't want to go to the Middle East and ride on a camel? Going through the pyramids of Giza is just one experience that it's just a must. And to conclude, all these extra additional excursions they have a promotional plan. So we suggest, if you're able to do so as a family, as I've learned from Clarabelle, this is meant to be for families to travel together, for couples to experience this together. A friend, partner up with a friend and go and enjoy this trip. And if there's any further information, we will be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Please join us. Thank you very much, Clarabelle.
Thank you, Maylene, so much. That was great. Like Maylene said, if you are interested in joining us on this fabulous educational once-of-a-lifetime tour, please give us a call. Our phone number is 407-205-8445. You could also find us on the web at inthomeeducation.com. Thank you so much.